Now, Bronny James being injured is definitely news to me. Now, shout out to Bronny Live for this video, but Bronny James just went live on Twitch and said this about why he's not going to be playing.
I've been playing. Huh? No.
You're not playing?
Bro, I tore my meniscus.
Damn, bro.
Now, I'm not surprised, first of all, that their school is not playing any games or very limited games with everything going on. Plenty of high school teams across the country for sure have a lot of limited games, and it really restricts what players can do. A lot of them can't even have team practices, and I think this can really hurt a lot of these guys that are trying to excel and move forward to the next level. Coaches not being able to see them play and really do their thing on the court can hurt. Now, Bronny James just said he tore his meniscus and he's actually injured, so even if his team was allowed to play, he wouldn't be playing. Now, to be honest, I'm surprised about this. I did not know Bronny James actually was injured, and if I was living under a rock, you guys let me know in the comment section down below. But first of all, we pray for a speedy recovery for Bronny James. Man, everyone just wants to see this dude on the court, right? He's been putting in a whole lot of work, and of course, a lot of things happen off court with Bronny James. A lot of this antics and the media just being completely toxic towards Bronny. But we want to see him play on the court and prove himself and show he has what it takes to play at the next level. And I'm sure Bronny's going to excel, but we pray for a speedy recovery. Now, on the other hand, EYBL, which is Nike's AU circuit, is actually going to be playing for it. Now, of course, odds are this is not going to be the same atmosphere as it was in the past, because maybe some players might not be playing, who knows, but we still will get a chance to play and show what he's capable of. Now, of course, that Sierra Canyon team is where we really wanted to see Bronny play, because they're playing against some of the best competition in the country. But not to discredit EYBL, they also have great players and do have probably the best league outside of high school basketball to go play and compete. And as far as college coaches go, man, you don't have to worry about that, because all of them are there to report and watch what these players are doing so that they can either get scholarships or, man, who knows what Bronny James is going to do. By the time he does graduate, he may be able to actually go ahead and go straight to the NBA. Now, the rule is actually looking to be wiped out in 2022, where players can go straight from high school to the NBA. But honestly, I don't think a lot of players are really ready for this. I think it's only a very small portion, really the 1% of players in high school basketball that would be ready to transition to that NBA level. Now, Bronny James, honestly, I don't think he would be able to do it right away. Not saying that he can't make the NBA, but personally, I think he's one of these guys that might need a little bit more time to develop as of right now. First of all, you're going to be playing against people who are way bigger, stronger than you. And really, if you're not ready for that type of level, I think it can hurt your career long term. Imagine you going way too early to the NBA, and since you can't perform and play at your top level, you end up dropping to the G League and maybe even out of the G League, and you have to go overseas or something like that. And we do not want to see that happen to Bronny. We want to see Bronny James go ahead and play with Bron if possible. But at the end of the day, hopefully Bronny does recover fast and we get to see him back on the court. We are praying for that recovery. But man, do you guys think Bronny James could go right to the NBA from high school? Really, I see it hard for a lot of players. I think there's a very small number of players who could be able to make that transition. Think about players like Zion. Zion was one of those guys that could make that transition and go right to the league, while a lot of these other players, man, if you're a little bit smaller, if you're any type of undersized, man, and you don't have a good body to you and a lot of mass, it's going to be tough for you to play against NBA vets and hold your own. Really, I think that's almost why players should go to the NBA G League if you're not trying to go to college, because of course you can develop here, play against that high competition, and although you're probably not playing against NBA vets, you're playing against guys that are competing for spots to try to get in the league, which is the closest to the NBA. And since the NBA scouts and a lot of these coaches have eyes on you already, since you're already in the organization, that would be the best place for you to show off your skills. Now, of course, on the other hand, Bronny James does have a lot that he does off the court with Twitch and streaming and FaZe, and shout out to him for having another hobby on the side. But man, it's a good thing Bronny James is well-rounded, and hopefully he's not getting down on himself and just can continue to recover and take day by day so he gets back on the court and we see those games and we see him eat on the court and show what he's made of. But you guys let me know, what do you think about Bronny James' injury? Did you know he was injured? And what do you think about him going straight from high school to the NBA? Do you think it's going to happen, or do you think he needs time to develop? Now, I just heard some crazy news. I gotta break this to you because, man, no one else is bringing this heat out here. Now, Overtime is planning to launch a semi-pro basketball league that will pay high school athletes. Now, this is huge news. Think about it. LeVar Ball was the only other one to try to do something like this with his league. And of course, he had his sons and pretty much facilitated them and gave them a spotlight to score 50, 60 points in some of these games and play their type of basketball. But overtime doing this is a huge move. Think about the market overtime has. They know all these top high school players have good relationships with them and they have a good reputation. So personally, I think a lot of these players might actually take a second look at going to this semi-pro league where you can get paid. A lot of high school teams are not even playing right now. And if overtime is able to offer that type of solution where you can play games, be safe, and get paid for it, man, I see a lot of people going this route. Now, first and foremost, we all know Mikey Williams is overtime's bread and butter. And if he actually goes into this and tries to go and play, I think this is going to be huge in getting other players to go. Think about it. The more highly recruited basketball players that go to a certain league, it's going to make it more popular and more people are more likely to go ahead and try to switch over and take an alternative route to this semi-pro team. Now, I've never heard anything like this, and of course, LeVar Ball was the only one who did something close to this, but of course, as you guys know, there were a lot of problems with LeVar Ball's league. First of all, a lot of players weren't getting paid, and there were a lot of shady deals going on. Players getting allegedly assaulted by coaches and things of that nature, and of course, Alan Foster allegedly, you guys know the scandal with that. He allegedly stole a whole lot of money from Big Baller Brand, and man, things did not go too well for that league, but I don't even know if it's still up, to be honest, but at the end of the day, this could be the new move. I'm always looking for other routes that players can go and see how they're going to pan out long term. I think, of course, the short term is what people look at, but if it's just high school basketball and they can actually get paid for this, I wonder if this will now not allow them to go to college basketball. Now, first and foremost, a lot of players actually are going to need college, in my opinion, or need another level and are not going to be able to go straight from this type of league to the NBA. Now, this is a unique position here, and I'm wondering who's going to go here. Mikey Williams, of course, has a lot of ties to overtime. Everyone knows that. And if he does go there, and maybe even you get somebody like Bronny James to pull up and go to this type of league, man, who knows where they'll end up going. I think it depends on your intentions. One, if you want to go to college and try to play there, you know you cannot get paid off of your name. Even if you have some type of shoe or any type of thing like that and you're getting paid off of your name prior, you are going to have issues going to college. And of course, your NCAA eligibility may be ruled not to be valid. So we're going to have to wait and see how this league does pan out and man, where players are going to end up going. But this is very interesting. I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this brand new league that Overtime is proposing? Do you think that a lot of hyped high school players are going to go there? Personally, I think for sure a lot of these guys are going to go there because they have strong ties to Overtime. Now, once you get a hyped up player, a top ranked player to go there, man, I think it's just going to be like a domino effect where a lot of players end up falling in and following that same record. And what do you think about Bronny James and his injury? Did you know he was injured or not? And do you think Bronny would be able to go straight from high school to the NBA? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications to get a new notification every time I upload a new video. So LNH out.